Welcome to On Purpose Ministries, where we, the Father, Son, and Holy Spirit, help you, my brothers and sisters, find your purpose so you can live in purpose, walk in purpose, and do everything on purpose. I am your sister Rashida, and we welcome you, family. This is part 3, the final part of this group of words concerning the journey, the kingdom spouse journey. And it's called "The God That Answers by Fire is About to Do It for You." The hit was put out, but they missed. Okay, so I'm going to start with the dream that I had because this part of the word comes from a dream. So I'm going to start with the dream that I had a few days ago, about a week or so ago. So I was at a house that had different parties going on in each room. I was aware in the dream that I didn't fit in the crowd. I was there with my sister. So we was walking through the house and stopped by a room where my spouse was sitting with a group of people. I just looked at him and kept walking because I didn't have anything to say to him. We wasn't on speaking terms. I was over his behavior, but my sister stopped to speak to him anyways. But he didn't say anything back. It was a blank stare on his face, like he was there, but he was not there. He appeared to be unresponsive. So me and my sister go through the room across the hall where two men were. One of the men I knew, not personally, but I knew him to be a close friend of my spouse. So his friend approached me to try to hit on me, but I knew he was married and a friend of my spouse, so I brushed him off and rejected his offer. I then looked at my sister and asked her if my spouse spoke back to her, and she said no. And before I could say anything and get upset, she assured me that she could tell he wanted to speak but couldn't or was afraid to because of the people around him who was sent to keep close eye on him, to watch his every move. It's not that he didn't want to speak. He couldn't because he was being watched. Again, he was being monitored. So I said, well, let's go back and check on him. So we went back across the hall. All of them were gone. I looked through the house for him, but I couldn't find him. He disappeared. Then I got a feeling that came over me, and somehow I was alerted that this woman, the counterfeit, the handler, he was seeing the woman he was dating, had put a hit out on me. So I began to panic and told my sister we had to get out of there because a hit was put out on my life. So we run out of the house and began running down the street. As we were running, I could see a group of women on the next street over in the car chasing us. And I told my sister this woman put a hit out on me because she had spoke to my spouse. But she didn't need to be afraid because they were not after her. They were after me. So I tell her to get down before they saw us. Then I see this tow truck coming down the road, and I flagged it down. The man down, and he stopped, and I begged him to let us in. I told him I would pay him and was willing to pay, whatever I needed to if he let us in. And I told him to please hurry up because people was after us. And he kept asking where the money was. I told him I got him. Just get us away from there. Then he turns and looks at me with this grin on his face and says, "The crazy thing is, I'm on the phone with the people that's after you." So I snatch his phone and hang it up. I then asked him to please help. I'll pay whatever. Just don't turn us in. He then drives us to this apartment where his wife and child was. And we were all standing in a bedroom. Me, my sister, this man, his wife, and their child. And I was explaining everything that had happened to me and why these people were after me. When the wife heard about the money they put on my head or was willing to pay for the hit they put out on my life, she tried to convince the husband that maybe they should take it, and I begged them not to. But the husband denied it and said, "That's not of God." Then she agreed and said, "You're right. I'm sorry." They agreed to shelter us there until we could get to safety. So I sit down in the bedroom, facing the window, my sister went to the bathroom and the couple was sitting in the living room. As soon as we got comfortable, I heard noise at the window and I knew it was them. I jumped up and ran in the living room and said, "They're here." They found out where we at. And I then ran to the bathroom where my sister was taking a shower and told her that they were there. They found us. She grabs a towel and jumps out of the shower and puts her clothes on. And I stand by the door waiting for them to come in. My sister said she was tired of this. My phone starts ringing and it's my mom calling. But I ignored the call because I didn't want them to know where we was hiding at. My sister tells me to text my mom to let her know what's going on. And I start texting, "Somebody is trying to kill us." But I never pressed send. I said, "Forget it." 1 second. I'm trying to turn this page. I know I'm reading from my notes. Hold on. Yeah, I said, "Forget it." I just walked out ready to go to war. And then the couple shouted and says, "She's on your side now and willing to make a deal." The woman who was sent to honor the hit or whatever. She was now on my side and switched sides and wanted to make a deal with me. I said no. The deal is no deal. The deal is off. And this woman was sent, and the woman who was sent to kill me starts running from me. I chase her around the apartment and she keeps running in circles, and then she kneels in the corner and I squat in front of her, and she was begging me to let her go. I warned her if she ever came for me again, I would finish her. To never try me like that again. She was nodding her head in fear. I told her to leave and never come back. She jumped up and ran out of the door. The couple starts jumping up and down, celebrating my victory, and that was the end of that dream. Now, this is the story that God gave me concerning this dream. And then we would go on to the word. And it's in Ezekiel, we're going to read. Now, I don't know why I say Ezekiel. It's in 1 Kings. We're going to read 1 Kings chapter 18 and 19. So give me a moment to get there. 1 Kings. Matter of fact, no. You read 1 Kings. Yeah. You read 1 Kings. You pause the video and read 1 Kings chapter 18 and chapter 19. Now, I'm going to summarize. Let me get there first, but I'm not going to read the whole chapters again. You pause the video and you read them because you're going to need to understand the story. Where is 1 Kings? There we go. You're going to need to understand the story. You're going to, for the word. So read chapter 18 and 19. Pause the video and read it, and I'm just going to go through it. Okay. So I'm going to highlight the points that was given to me. Elijah had a bad reputation just because he obeyed God. He was known for causing trouble, at least in the eyes of the people, because he was used to speak against and come up against the wickedness of the land. And they didn't like that because they were comfortable in their sins. So Elijah was viewed as an unwanted presence. Just like the sorcerer in the bloodline. You are a threat. You are a problem to them because you're coming up. God is using you to expose things in the bloodline. God is using you to reveal things that they didn't ever want to come out. So your presence is unwanted, and that's why these people have come up against you. That's why they have fought so hard to keep you away, because you were exposing things, revealing things that they didn't ever want to come out. So that's 1 Kings 18 and 18, which reads, where is it at? And he answered, "I have not troubled Israel, but thou and thy father's house, in that ye have forsaken the commandments of the Lord, and thou hast followed Baalim." So Elijah gathered all of them who chose to sit and dine with Jezebel, who chose to partake in her sins, who chose her abominations, who were prophets but chose not to follow the Most High, but Jezebel, who knew better but still did what they thought was right. He sent Ahab, Jezebel's husband, to do it. They had to pick a side. All of those who was in attendance who watched had to choose what side they would be on. Righteousness or wickedness. The Most High side or the devil's. You was put on assignment to speak against or come against the idols in your land concerning your promise and your bloodline and your spouse's bloodline. The people that came up against God by coming up against you. So you represent righteousness. The people that came up against God by coming up against you represents wickedness. God is gathering everyone together who was involved in this promise, who is connected to this land, to pick a side. But God in his mercy is going to provide proof of whose side he is truly on. The one he truly sent to occupy that land. And then the people will decide. First Kings chapter 18 verses 21. Let me see. Do we go to 41? Lord have mercy. Okay, I guess I'll read it. Where is 21 at? Okay. And Elijah came unto all the people and said, how long halt ye between two opinions? If the Lord be God, follow him. But if Baal, then follow him. And the people answered him not a word. Then said Elijah unto the people, even I only, remain a prophet of the Lord. But Baal's prophets are 450 men. Let them therefore give us 2 bullocks, and let them choose 1 bullock for themselves, and cut it in pieces, and lay it on the wood, and put no fire under. And I will dress the other bullock, and lay it on wood, and put no fire under. And call ye on the name of your gods, and I will call on the name of the Lord. And the God that answers by fire, let him be God. And all the people answered and said, it is well spoken. And Elijah said unto the prophets of Baal, choose you 1 bullock for yourself, and dress it first, for ye are many, and call on the name of your gods, but put no fire under. And they took the bullock which was given them, and they dressed it, and called on the name of Baal from morning until noon, saying, O Baal, hear us. But there was no voice, nor any that answered, and they leaped upon the altar which was made. And it came to pass at noon that Elijah mocked them and said, cry aloud, for he is a God. Either he is talking, or he is pursuing, or he is on a journey, or peradventure he sleepeth and must be awakened. And they cried aloud and cut themselves after their manners with knives and lancets, till the blood gushed out upon them. And it came to pass when midday was past, and they prophesied until the time of the offering of the evening sacrifice, that there was neither voice nor any to answer, nor any that regarded. And Elijah said unto all the people, come near unto me. And all the people came near unto him, and he repaired the altar of the Lord that was broken down. And Elijah took 12 stones, according to the numbers of the tribes of the sons of Jacob, unto whom the word of the Lord came, saying, Israel shall be thy name. And with the stones he built an altar in the name of the Lord, and he made a trench about the altar, as great as would contain 2 measures of seed. And he put the wood in order, and cut the bullock in pieces, and laid him on the wood, and said, fill 4 barrels with water, and pour it on the burnt sacrifice and on the wood. And he said, do it the second time. And they did it the second time. And he said, do it the third time. And they did it the third time. And he said, and the water ran round about the altar, and he filled the trench also with the water. And it came to pass at the time of the offering of the evening sacrifice, that Elijah the prophet came near and said, Lord God of Abraham, Isaac, and of Israel, let it be known this day that thou art God in Israel, and that I am thy servant, and that I have done all these things at thy word. Hear me, O Lord, hear me, that this people may know that thou art the God, the Lord God, and that thou hast turned their heart back again. Then the fire of the Lord fell and consumed the burnt sacrifices, and the wood and the stones and the dust, and licked up the water that was in the trench. And when all the people saw it, they fell on their knees. They fell on their faces, and they said, The Lord, he is the God. The Lord, he is the God. And Elijah said unto them, Take the prophets of Baal, let not one of them escape. And they took them, and Elijah brought them down to the brook Kishon, and slew them there. And Elijah said unto Ahab, Get thee up, eat and drink, for there is a sound of abundance of rain. Let me see where I was on my notes. Make sure y'all read both chapters now. Hold on, let me find. Okay, right here. So they won't be able to lie or manipulate their way out of this. All of their devices will fail. They won't succeed at anything this time. People will finally see who they truly are. Their gods will fail them. It's about to be over. Finally. Can we say finally? Because it has been a journey. God is providing proof of who you are and who they're not. The lie has went on long enough, but it won't much longer. He is providing evidence. God is about to let it be known that it was him who sent you. It was him who did all of these things through you. That you are one of his in the eyes of everyone who doubted you. You won't be so crazy after all. They will finally see the purpose is not for you to be glorified, but to bring the people to repentance for standing against the will of the Father. The ones closest to them, the ones closest to the handler, and all that was involved will bear witness of all the Most High has done. Jezebel wasn't even present for it. When all of this happened, when they killed all those false prophets, she was not even present for it. She wasn't aware of what was going on, but her husband did. He was there. He had front row seats. The one who sent the hit out on your life, the one who benefits most from your fall, won't even be present when the Most High reveals everything that needs to be revealed. He will make sure they're not in attendance so that they will not be able to interrupt anything. Everything would have been to happen. It would be too late for them to speak on anything. They won't even be present. 1 Kings chapter 19 verses 1 through 2. And Ahab told Jezebel all that Elijah had done, and with all how he slain all the prophets with the sword. Then Jezebel sent a messenger unto Elijah, saying, So let the gods do to me, and more also, if I make not the life as the life of one of them by tomorrow about this time. So she wanted to retaliate because of what had happened. But we all know how that story ended for Jezebel. So Jezebel wanted to retaliate for what Elijah was sent to do by killing her prophets. She was becoming defenseless. When Elijah saw what Jezebel purposed to do to him, he fled in fear for his life. Just like in the dream, this woman had put a hit out on me because what I was sent to do. Once I got wind of it, I fled in fear of my life. Just like Elijah. Elijah asked the Father to take his life. He was tired, just like many of you are, and just want the this part of the story to be over. If you read both chapters, you will see the Most High had sent Elijah help. He sent help. He sent 3 of them. Just like in the dream, it was 3 with me. My sister, the man, and his woman. He sent Elijah 3 people to help. If you read the chapters, you will know. Nobody was able to escape. They slew them all. So God is gathering his people together. Those who were once against you because of lack of knowledge of who you are will now take your side. God is changing the hearts of men and turning it back to him. These people once thought they were on the right side of things, are finally realizing they weren't. The ones he is sending back to take your side and help you weren't intentionally fighting against you. These people actually believed the lies told about you because it was so convincing. They were under the control of these witches and warlocks. They were under the influence. They were under their influence. They were manipulated and deceived into thinking it wasn't you. God didn't see. Yeah. Yeah, they honestly thought that God didn't send you and that God wasn't using you. They honestly did not know who you were. They meant no harm. They thought they were on the right side of this. So they thought they were doing God's work by fighting against you and joining forces with the witch, with the warlock, who convinced these people that they were you. So you have to forgive them and let them in because they're truly on your side now. They're on God's side. And remember, it's not about you, it's about the will of the Most High. And they're sorry. They're sorry for the role they played in all of this. God is providing proof behind the scenes and you don't even know it. In these people's lives and the ones who stood against you, he is providing evidence of who you are. And they are not even aware of it. They think everything is all good. That's why I say don't pay attention to the counterfeit, because you're more of a threat to them than they are to you. He is providing proof. Yes. He's providing proof to those who want to stand against you. Yeah. They're the mask has fallen off and they don't even know it. They're not aware of anything. They think that they're still covered up. They think they're still protected. They think that they're still hiding. They don't even know that God has revealed them to these people. The mask has fallen off and the counterfeits are not even aware of it. They're just playing the game, and those around them are playing the game and pretending like they don't know. But trust me, God is providing evidence behind the scenes. So don't think it's strange when people start coming back to apologize to you. He is making them, the handlers, those involved, defenseless. Because remember in part 2, when he sent the angels or his army in to grab your spouse from the counterfeit, the handler. They was shooting at the handler, and the other people that was involved disappeared on her. She was defenseless, and God is making them defenseless by starting with the ones around them and removing them, just like they did with your spouse. See, it's all coming back on them how they did with your spouse. They removed you. They removed everything about God away from them to make them defenseless so that they could come in. Now God is doing it to them. He is stripping and removing everyone away from them and making them defenseless, and he is sending his army in. Now the ones who knew and chose to stick around will be destroyed like them. 450 prophets. They will be destroyed like those 450 prophets. However, the Most High decides to eliminate them or remove them. That's his business, not yours, not mine. Let God be God and stay out of his way. He don't need your help with that. But the people they gathered against you are leaving them and joining you. You will witness it. God is about to answer by fire for you. And at the end, when it's just you and them, you will be the last man standing. This is your Elijah moment. God is vindicating you in the eyes of those who doubted you. He is clearing out the land. Go forth and receive your land, but don't forget about the one who fought for you to have it. So that's it for these words. I got more words to put out, but that is it for part 1, for part 2, for part 3. Always take every word back to the Father. I pray this word blesses whoever it is for. If you feel led to join the channel, we welcome you. And until next time, family. And if you need any of my information, you want to reach out to me, whatever, it's in the description box of every video. So until next time, shalom, family.